Hello and welcome to another episode of the Back to Warcraft podcast, episode number 17. It's July 21st, 2021. And you guys don't know this, but this is actually the second take. It's the first time we've been on a second take because Neo had the recording off for the first at least minute. So it's okay. We didn't like we rambled or anything, but how's it going? How you doing, Neo?
Oh man, I'm a little disappointed in myself, man. We talked last time about how we always fuck up the clap to sync up in the beginning, and now you did a banger of a clap, like the most perfect clap that anyone in the history of this world can imagine. And then I got us muted. Dude,
there you go.
Shame on me. People don't know that maybe, but even I do mistakes. That makes me human. I mean, everybody in the community thinks I'm like this superhuman, can do all kind of guy. But no, I do mistakes too. And I'm sorry.
It's very rare. It's very rare that Neo makes a mistake, but when he does it, it's beautiful to watch and make fun of him. What a wild week and a half we've had, I think.
Yeah, first of all, can I start? Because there's something very near and dear to my heart. And I think the viewers as well. This should be the number one topic of the entire podcast, I guess.
Go.
My ass.
I have no idea. Okay, yeah. Okay, go.
My ass is back in stellar shape. The pillow fixed it, I guess. The day after this pillow arrived, pain was gone. And I was able to cast WGL without suffering, without standing up in the middle of the broadcast, and now everything is fine again. I know this was a little cliffhanger and you've been wondering for a week if everything is all right, and I can confirm now it is all right.
That's good to hear, man. Happy for your ass. Here's my thing though, okay? Like you get the pillow, right?
Yep.
And you think that's helping, and now you feel better and you go, "Thank you, pillow." I've always wondered, would your ass have gotten better either way?
We need to
like
dip
it's
into
the same
a
thing with
parallel
medicine,
universe,
right? Like if I have a cold and I take some Benadryl or whatever, and I get better in like 3 days, I go, "Oh, thanks, Benadryl." But was I gonna get better in 3 days anyway? I don't
never know.
A little bit
We
of water.
will never know.
I think about that a lot.
I do thank the pillow a lot though, and I continue to use it because it can't hurt, right? It can just be good for me, for my lower end.
Yeah, I mean, you
In
should
the
use it
long
all
run.
the time. If long term, absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, it's probably good for your back too.
We're here to stay, you know, and I have to sit a lot more for the rest of my career to do this job. So yeah, I have to take care of my ass a little more.
Yeah, true. I mean, I literally I use a pillow right now. Like, I don't know if you guys are watching on Spotify, you won't be able to see it, but if you're on YouTube, you can see the pillow right behind me. So I need this pillow for like my back posture because my posture is so bad. Which I need like either a better chair or I need like a better thing because I can see that my back is starting to go a bit and it's painful, it's uncomfortable. I've been on my computer, Neo, maybe 10 hours a day on average since I was like 12. So if I have bad posture, I mean, it's crushing me. So similar to your ass is my back, and I need to figure that out. People have said like Herman Miller chair, buy that. It's expensive, yes, but it's like super good.
You could also buy like a golden boat. It's basically the equivalent.
Are they really expensive?
Dude, they cost a fortune. You're planning on buying a new house. You could either buy that house or a Herman Miller chair. And then they say, "Oh, buy one refurbished." Yeah, good luck finding one in Germany refurbished.
How much are these bad boys?
2.5K or something?
Come on, dude. They were selling a desk on their website too. It was $1,600 for a desk, and it just looked like 4 legs and a desk.
Well,
I was like,
it's
what's
important
going
to
on?
have, though. I mean, they got at least the basics down then, from what we know.
A lot of people have said though, like either go Herman Miller or like go IKEA chair and just get like a nice IKEA office chair.
Yeah, everybody says that about the IKEA chair, and I tested it, and I don't like it at all. My mom got the same. What's it called again? IKEA Marcus is, I think, the go-to recommendation. Not my kind of chair. I don't know what it is, but it feels incredibly wrong to sit on it. probably good quality and all, but not made for my body. So people keep on raving about the IKEA. I'm a doubter. I'm an IKEA doubter.
I'm not too sure what to do, and you know what, like with COVID restrictions like starting to come up, I if I'm gonna buy a chair, I'm also trying to buy a bed. I need an upgrade on my bed. I've been using the same double since I was well, my grandma bought it for me, and honestly it's been very close to my heart.
Wait, weren't you the one that's just sleeping on the mattress?
Yeah, I just have a box spring and a mattress. I have a box spring.
Oh, you have a box spring though. Okay.
Yeah, not just a mattress on the ground. It used to be like that, but
that's what I thought. Like, aren't you just sleeping on the floor basically?
No, I don't have a bed frame, but I do have a box spring on the ground, and my mattress is on top of the box spring. But yeah, I need to upgrade because my feet dangle over the edge, and I don't sleep very well anymore. I used to when I was younger, because I was 5'1", but now as a 5'7", tall, fully grown, developed man, I need a bed, dude. I hate being short, dude. It's the worst.
Is that why you're so grumpy? Because lack of sleep recently?
Honestly, I haven't slept well, Neo, in maybe 3 months.
Well, that's bad. Do you take any pills for it or something?
No, I don't. People have said smoke a little pot, smoke a little reefer before you go to bed. Don't do drugs. Don't want to do the melatonin before bed because then you rely on that. And maybe that's why I'm so miserable, is because I don't do the drugs. But
yeah, I only do that when my sleep schedule is super fucked, like when I go to bed at like 11 a.m. for some reason. And then it works, but then I put them away because it can't be healthy. But to me, when I'm suffering, it helps, but I really don't want to be dependent on that. That's
so you've actually done like the melatonin?
Yeah. Oh man,
does it work?
You sleep like a freaking baby. Wait, that's always bad. Like when people say you sleep like a baby, isn't that horribly wrong? Because babies wake up all the freaking time.
No, because they sleep so, like they shit themselves in their sleep. That's how comfortable they are. Like the saying is, I'm gonna sleep like a baby shit my pants. So like you're so content that you could shit your pants and you're still content. That's the saying. That's what it really means.
That makes a lot more sense though, because I thought, okay, if you want to sleep through the night, then that saying is the worst you can come up with because babies wake up all the time. You sleep like a rock. Let's say it's sleep like a rock, super comfortable. Don't want to advertise drugs all the time, but if you really have problems with that, that can help you get into the rhythm, is what I'm saying. So
here's the thing with me too. Is like melatonin, I don't know if that's gonna work on me, because like Red Bull, like Monster energy drink, like caffeine, coffee doesn't really do anything for me. I feel no effects from caffeine, so I feel like melatonin, which is the opposite. I don't know, like I don't want to be like popping pills to go to sleep, because then you rely on that, right? Yeah. I'm just doing the au naturel. You know what I should do? I should go for a run.
Oh yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
I'll sleep like a baby, shit my pants.
Well, you know, please don't. That would be weird. But, especially when you brag about it on socials after. Hey guys, it happened. I shit myself.
Dude, my dad says that all the time. He'll I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
Oh, you and your old man, you were on date night. I saw.
Yeah, we went to a really nice restaurant. Dude, I was laughing so hard. Went to a really nice restaurant. I spend way too much time with my dad, and honestly, he's my best friend. Oh. And I love him to death. But yeah, I'm always going out with him. And it's a good time. We went to a really nice restaurant, and he wore literally like track shorts with like a dry fit shirt. Should not have wore that. I wore something nice, but yeah, it was good. He really nice service there, and good food, and it's very quiet, and I like that. It's like you get your table, it's like 10 feet apart from other tables. It's a perfect date spot because it's like very quiet and nice, and the servers are just like on the ball. And I'm not going to say the place because then I'll get murdered. So it's just a really nice restaurant in my
McDonald's.
Town. And, it's the McDonald's drive-through. Yeah, that's where we went. The McDonald's drive-through. No, it's a very nice Italian restaurant. I got an 18-ounce steak.
Ooh.
With potatoes and shrimp.
That's good.
And a nice Peroni beer. You ever heard of Peroni?
No.
It's Italian. The entree was $60, Neo. Treat yourself, man. Treat yourself.
Esports money, huh?
Hell yeah, I'm eating good right now. I'm eating good, that's for sure.
All that CORSAIR money coming in.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. That's for sure. But yeah, I think it's nice to go out. I don't go out very often, obviously, based on my pale skin. I've been rocking the wife beaters on stream. People keep noticing how pale I am. I don't go outside a lot, but when I do, I try to go out and socialize a bit. You have to kind of cut yourself off, man. Like, I notice you're doing that now. You're starting to go out. You're actually going out tonight.
Yeah, I do. Tomorrow I got a concert.
You have to. You have to kind of like just. You have to kind of just shut stuff off. Like you have a good gig right now because you're going to these concerts, and then on the weekend you're not broadcasting because you're going to a LAN. So you get like a couple days of just like nothing going on. Relax. Try to enjoy yourself. You're meeting up with the Warcraft 3 guys. You're gonna have a good time. I'm kind of jelly, not gonna lie, but the Experion LAN is what we're talking about, hosted by Ente, by the way, in Cologne, I think it is. Yeah, that's gonna be super cool. But it's nice that you get to wind down because you were doing a bit of a long stint with that WGL tournament. It was a long one. What was 6 days in a row? 7 days in a row?
That was 6 days in a row, but these were like 15-hour days roundabout, I think. Like the broadcast was only 6 hours a day, I think, but I did so much prep work and I hope it showed on the broadcast. Like I got every matchup down to the tiniest little detail, I think, when it comes to stats, storylines, previous accomplishments, the player's year so far, etc., etc. I tried a little bit of a different thing. Like before I had my spreadsheets, and I have a spreadsheet for every player that tells all the results, etc., etc., and the ELO ranked development, so stuff like that. This time I switched it up a little, and I did my own spreadsheet for every single game in the tournament with previous results and all the details there. And I think that's a better approach. Not too much copy paste, just all the information was just fresh in my head. And I got a little bit of praise for that. I don't know if too many people noticed, but I was, for the first time in forever, really happy with casting most of the time.
Are you? Yeah, you tweeted that you were really happy with casting. Like, have you been kind of in lull mode before?
Nah, I think it was just nothing special for a while, and I know I can do better if I have the time to prepare, and if it's a week of WGL, I know that I won't do too much office work or project-related work, but it's just focusing on that. And then I can shine. Like, I'm not the guy who will tell you a timing down to the split second, or why is that and that late, and that's why we got Remo and Carson, but I'm the guy to tell you the story. For example, like Colorful never won a tier 2 tournament before he wins this big WGL tier 1 tournament. I got stats from Moon versus Lin that the first maps they played in the grand final against each other were like 2003, and it was Odessa, Blue Lagoon, and Goldshire. Like stuff like that can add to the narrative. That's my job, and I put a lot of hours into that, and of course then socials and YouTube and all the other good stuff, good quote unquote stuff. So that was long days, but I really felt like this was almost peak Neo when it comes to storytelling, I guess.
That's good. Yeah, I enjoyed the WGL broadcast. I was there for Thursday, but I did tune into some of it. I was working that long weekend, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I was trying to tune in. What a fucking storyline that was, eh?
Oh, lots of storylines we got. It started with the group stage, where we got.
I mean, you got to talk about Group D.
Exactly. Got to talk about Group D, where 15 Sway defeated Foggy, not Foggy Lawlight, and got a draw of 1-0 and advanced into the playoffs. Like this 19-year-old kid, the first Millennium child that we ever got in the WGL tournament, born in
Zoomer.
Zoomer. Oh yeah, that's what they call the first Zoomer in a WGL playoff, and then makes it to the semis. That was so wild. And seeing players peak performance was really cool. Like Colorful was just playing so well throughout this entire tournament for the first time that he never made any big mistakes in a tournament ever, and boom, he wins that. It was also cool seeing players peak in the group stage and then fall off after, for Chemico, for example. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He did so well in the group stage and then couldn't really repeat that. And it was a little bit of a storyline of a good horse only jumps as high as it has to. That prevailed, I think, in the end. And Chemico jumped a little too high in the group stage, and that's why he was eliminated.
There's also the hype of 15 Sway. I mean, 15 Sway was riding off of a sick momentum coming out of Group D. I mean, when you see 1-2-0 and Lalayat getting knocked out, big shout out to Foggy, by the way. Great run in the group stage, and then a 3-1 loss to Lin, taking a map off him on Netties. Can't complain about that at all. This guy's got 180 ping throughout the entire tournament, so you got to give big kudos to Foggy. I love this guy. We've talked about how much of a competitor he is. But yeah, I think 15 Sway, I thought Chemico was going to win the tournament, to be honest. The way he was playing in that group stage, he was definitely the strongest. Even though Colorful went 3-0 and Moon looked really good at 2-1, I think the storyline throughout the entire group stage was Chemico's going to win this whole thing. And then 15 Sway, another big upset. I mean, yeah, a 3-2 win. And that was pretty wild, right? Because Chemico was up 15 Sway was up 2-1. It was the Moon Colorful series. So I'm tuning in, right, throughout work, just my experience. And I see 2-0 Moon versus 15 Sway.
Oh, and you didn't see the second game then?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man,
I just see
you missed
2-0. I didn't watch the Tidehunters game. No, I just tuned into Autumn Leaves and it's 2-0 Moon. And I go, oh, this is probably it. And then I tune in later and Moon did 3-0. But then then flash forward, like I'm still working, and then I tune in again and it's 2-0 Moon against Colorful. And I'm like, this guy's just not going to drop a map. And so I just turn off the stream. I go, congrats to Moon. I turn off the stream. I go back to work. And then I'm looking at Twitter like maybe 2 hours later, and everyone's going buck, like Colorful. And I'm like, no way. So then I tune in and it's 2-2 and I'm like, no way. And it's like Tidehunters on the final map 2-2. I'm like, what? So I watched that. That was amazing, man.
Yeah, so you kind of missed the worst part of it as well, because the first map was kind of normal and Moon was just a better player and took that map. Second map, it lasted not even 3 minutes. Like Colorful got 0-2'd in, I don't know, 8 in-game minutes or something. I saw the tweet from Vision Strikers. They were tweeting like 8 minutes in, we're up 2-0 or something like that. It was like embarrassing grand finals. It looked like an embarrassment. It like map 2 was Last Refuge and a couple of creeps interfered and Colorful was just it wasn't an Infi move or something. That was a horrible game for him and he got surprised there. But then being down in your first WGL Grand Final against the greatest player of all time, 0-2 in 8 minutes, and then this kid got the guts to fight back, to claw back into that final, punishing Moon for every single mistake, outplaying him so hard at times when Moon picked the keeper in Mirror. Probably not the smartest move, I gotta say. It was a little bit of a gift there to not go straight up with Standard, but that's also not Moon's Mirror style, so yeah, it wasn't really a gift. And so he fought back, he didn't give up the grand final, it was 2-1 then, and here comes Concealed Hill. This match is maybe now my favorite Night Elf Mirror of all time, except maybe Moon versus Foggy, also in the WGL Grand Final on this very map, where they had this crazy base race. And it was the same here, like how well these guys played around each other and knew how far they can push this, and always making the right moves. And Colorful was up, then Moon finds a way back, then Moon was up and Colorful finds a way back to not. This was an insane Night Elf Mirror. It was so fun, it was so close, and all of a sudden it's 2-2 and you see that Moon is shaking and Moon is getting nervous, and this is not what we expect from a guy who's participating in tournaments at world class for 18 or 19 years. All of a sudden his brain starts working like, oh my god, I'm about to get reverse swept here. by a newcomer to finals. Like, this shall not happen to me. I'm Moon. I'm gonna be responsible for that sweet Keeper of the Grove stained glass. But no, Colorful took it on Tidehunters, and not playing his standard stuff with Demon Hunter Naga, but moving away from it with the Panda as well. Man, I love this grand final. I love the players. I love this entire tournament. I love the system with the best of 2 group stage. I love everything, but graphics, of course. And the clean feed could be better, I think. And the overlay could be better. But man, what a WGL this was.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, what a storyline too, because it just looked like a flop. Like I said, I'm tuning in. I didn't know about the 8 minutes until later, but yeah, Moon's up 2-0 in the grand finals. I'm like, well, this is just it. You know, it's just over. Moon's too good. Oh, man. And he did look really good. I think a lot of people weren't talking about how good Moon looked throughout the entire tournament, but he was pretty solid. I mean, 3-0, 3-0. He did get Soen in 15 sway, and on paper, I think a lot of people would have liked that side of the bracket, but as opposed to Focus, Colorful, Lin, and Foggy. But yeah, what a great comeback from Colorful in his first big win. And it's just nice, man. Like I said, we've been talking about this for a while. Asia is just constantly changing. New champion all the time. It's always flip-flopping. Some of the big favorites get knocked out early. Some of the underdogs go through a lot farther than we thought. It's crazy to think about Asia Warcraft right now. It's a good spot.
Yeah, I think it's totally right what you say. And I think going into the playoffs went okay, or going into the semis, I thought that Colorful, okay, you had the easiest group of all, you had a very, very fitting quarterfinal with Focus, who just became a dad, by the way, shout out, all the best to you guys. So of course Focus's attention was somewhere else and not 100% on the preparation for the quarters. Still played decent though, but from all the quarters I think it was also the easiest for him. Okay, then how will you do it on Championship Sunday? First against Lin, the killer in Orc vs Night Elf, and then he was up against Moon. This had to happen. He had to have the big names in front of him on the last day to just solidify this win. If he just goes through, just once again in quotes, I don't want to belittle anybody. If he goes through, let's say, Foggy and 15 Sway on the final day, that wouldn't be as epic as if he's going through Lin and Moon back to back, both with 3-2. Like, that's the day he becomes a star and he's now part of that S tier. This needed to happen in exactly this way.
And I don't know if you knew this, but Colorful has come like top 2, top 3 in most tournaments, losing to Moon. I mean, the DreamHack Summer loss was to Moon.
DreamHack Huya as well.
Huya, he got 5-0, like upper bracket 2-0, 3-0 grand final. So, I mean, it's always just been Moon in his way. And then like the big win, because I mean, obviously I would prefer to win WGL Summer over DreamHack Summer. No offense, but the prize pool's a lot different. Yeah, 24,000 versus 2,400. So, just a big comeback story, man. This kid probably just got sick of it. I can only imagine. You know, he's in the finals, he's down 2-0. He must just be like, I can win. Like, I wonder what was in his head, because I've seen Hitman go down 0-2 and he just plays like it's always 0-0. And he's got that mentality, and that's what makes him so good in best of, is he never tilts. Same with Cruncher. Cruncher never tilts. NA players, players that I deal with, they just always think 0-0 mentality. I really wonder, you lose to Moon in DreamHack. You lose to Moon and Huya a month ago, 2-0 in the upper bracket, 3-0 in the grand finals. You're down 2-0 again. He must have just been like, fuck this guy.
What I mean? Like, he said in the post-game interview that when it was 0-2 after 8 minutes, he kind of gave it up already. And maybe that is what put the pressure off of him, that there was nothing to lose at that point anymore. And then he starts to pick up momentum. He sees, okay, I'm playing Demon Hunter against the Keeper. That's good for me. I'm getting a lasted tier. That's good for me. Look at my items. They're pretty dope. And yeah, momentum in Warcraft, man. I say it so many times and people are laughing at me, but it happens. If someone is too sure of a victory, something that would never happen to Happy, by the way. If you're too sure of a victory, you can give this up. Like, it doesn't matter if it's your maps or the opponents. You can take it, one mistake in the early game and it can be yours. It's, oh man, I love this so much. And yeah, it's so cool to see new face, because when was the last time 1-2-0 won a tournament? Because 1-2-0 is the only star of that new generation, really, right? I think it must be like Masters Coliseum 3 years ago or something. So since then, it was always the old man's club. It was, with the exception of Happy, who's kind of an old schooler as well, because he participated in the 2010s already. But it was always the Moons, the Lins, the Infies, the Flies. And to see a new face there is so important to the longevity of this game, to have this new challenger. Oh man, I could rave for another hour over WGL of how good this was.
Yeah, I mean, Colorful, I've always pegged him as the best elf versus orc player in the world, and now that you won WGL, it's nice to say, like, you know what, you are the best elf player in the world. I still think Moon is obviously super well accomplished and so consistent even at his old age, but I still think Moon is the best elf in the world. But it's a nice take for Colorful, because he has been literally scraping like top 4, top 3, top 2 in most tournaments, which is in Asia is saying a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just really good, man. If he wins one more, like if he wins DreamHack, then it's like, okay, this is your era right now. It's the Colorful era, but he definitely needs at least one more. But this is, I mean, at the end of the day, WGL is a huge one, so it's like it's really good.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, I'm really, really happy for the kid. I was poking fun at him because Remo loves him so much, but yeah, this guy. I met him, I think it was the first time I went to a GCS in Shanghai before I was only in Yinchuan for WCA. And we met with Kuke, who is the head of Warcraft community basically in China and does War 3 Station and all. And we went to a hot pot place and she brought Colorful, and he was wearing like a Playboy branded coat, and he was a funny dude. But we were introduced to him like, yeah, it's Colorful. Of course, we knew him from the game, but everybody in the community calls him stupid because he had to repeat class once. Like, dude, Chinese community is rough. They all poked fun at him because they had one class ever. He's a low IQ night elf or something is what they called him.
Because he got like held back a grade?
Yeah.
Wow, that's rough.
It's super rough. And of course, that held on for like 5 years or something. And he never gave up. He was always fighting against that. And he became better and better. And that's just after becoming a father, he said he takes his Warcraft job a lot more serious and practice a lot more serious. And yeah, this is what it all leads to, man. This was so cool.
It was a great event. I mean, yeah, the graphics were a problem, but people were cool towards the end. I think once we made it clear on our socials that people were pissing us off, people definitely toned it down.
Yeah.
In chat. And then, you know, big shout out to our moderation team for keeping the annoyingness down, because they do a great job as always. But yeah, WGL was a long week, but it was a really good game. Great stories, guys. Most of those every single video is on our YouTube.
Yeah,
you could check out the whole storyline from the very beginning. Just search for WGL.
Plus the highlight videos by Out of Warcraft. Every single play day has its own...
You can watch the highlight videos for the day, or you can actually go group by group to quarterfinals, to semis, to finals. All of those VODs are available on our YouTube page. It's a great story, man. Big key highlights, I would say. Anything 15 sway. Oh, yeah. And then obviously the Colorful Moon Grand Finals was a biggie as well.
Also, Lin versus Foggy was excellent. Really loved a lot of matches here. But yeah, up on our YouTube, the biggest archive for competitive Warcraft probably in the world, right? With like 5,000 matches.
Just under 5,000 videos. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's super wild. Like, it's kind of cool that we built this now, because there's so much missing from the golden era. Like, it's even hard to catch WCG Grand Finals. You can find most of them, but not all. I think for ESWC it's really hard. For WC3L it's really hard. Would love to rewatch those broadcasts, but yeah, for our era, for the Back2Warcraft era, you can go back all the way. Look up competitive Warcraft from 2014 to 2021 and probably only miss like 2 tournaments or something.
And the action doesn't stop, man. We got DreamHack coming around the corner. We still got more Colorful, more 15 sway, and DreamHack. A new face that I am certainly going to root for. You know who I'm talking about. DreamHack Asia. Who's the big fan favorite?
Asia. I thought you're talking about the one important Night Elf that we got new to DreamHack, which is not in the Asian region.
Well, he certainly is. You don't think Remind is a new additional Night Elf addition?
Dude, who is Remind when you compare him to Kevin Schwem?
Oh, true.
Dude.
True.
Kevin
the
Schwem.
legend of Kevin Schwim. He's got the dirtiest name ever. Kevin Schwim. I love to say that. Kevin Schwim. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I think Kevin Schwim does pose a little bit of a higher what's it called, wow factor than Remind, but I was just gonna go by Asia, Europe, and NA, but I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped for Remind, definitely in Asia. We'll see how he does. He's got a tough group, but
his qualifier matches, right, he was plowing through quite a few household names. Didn't he beat like Mikhail 2-0?
Yeah, he beat Michael 2-0 and then Cine 2-0. Cine ended up qualifying later on.
Yeah.
A pretty good win so far. Yep, for sure. And then I think in the qualifier one, I'm not sure who he played. He played TBC and then Cine again. So he's been whooping Cine's ass. Cine's actually in the main tournament too. He did qualify later on, but yeah, Remind's Night Elf mirror is definitely looking good. His verse Undead is looking good, although he does have 1-2-0 in his group. Obviously a much different caliber than Michael. But you know, 1-2-0 also has that inconsistency thing going.
Yeah, he wasn't too great against Night Elves at WGL. Like really not. I mean, it's
he
a
was
little
very
unfair.
average.
Yeah, it's really unfair because we compare him to Happy all the time, and Happy is the GOAT. But also, I think compared to other high-class European undeads, this matchup, like Axlord, for example, I don't think Axlord is weaker than 1-2-0, like at all.
It's different, right? We haven't seen Xlord compete like
this.
He
beats Foggy like at a 50% rate, I would say. And if he's losing, he still looks great. And that was something that was missing. Like the kid forgot 2 acolytes, one in his main, one at his expansion. Like that would never ever happen to an Xlord.
Xlord kind of gets fucked by Foggy, let's be honest.
No.
Yeah, 9-2 in matches, 20-9 in maps.
No.
Foggy has an 82% win rate against Xlord.
Liar.
Xlord kind of gets fucked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I think you're
Xlord's just holding back strategies, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Comparing Xlord to 1-2-0 is a bit of a stretch. I know 1-2-0 can be overrated at times, but he's definitely
I'm just talking
easily
about this
the number
matchup,
2. In I like his verse Elf. I think it's hard to compete when you're playing against Moon. I mean, I don't think Xlord comes close against Moon. Do you? Has he ever played Moon?
Moon is pretty good at this matchup. I don't think so.
I mean, 1-2-0 is getting knocked out by Moon for the most part. You check every tournament, it's Moon that he's playing. Has Xlord ever played Moon? I'm gonna look at this up right now because I don't think so.
Don't think so either.
No, he's never played Moon.
Ooh, we need that.
That's a difference, man. You kind of need that practice. Yeah.
Well, Foggy is basically Moon at this point in this matchup, I think, if not better.
True.
So it's a good comparison, I think. But yeah, man, I'm super hyped for Remind as well. It's one of the best Koreans to have in the scene, or to have back in the scene. I hope his stint this time is a little longer and he will compete in fall as well. And this group of his, like he's in Group D with 1-2-0, Thunder, Sock. So I think he might even have a chance here. Thunder, pretty decent shape, I would think. Sock, a little bit. Like, we've seen way better Sock. So if Remind puts in a lot of hours, not saying that he's a favorite or anything, but if he's going into that hyperbolic time chamber, whatever he's doing right now, and practices with a little bit of help, he could end up second. Like, for example,
I see Remind first or second, to be honest, because Sock is he's kind of been lazy lately. Thunder is good, but he's not I still don't think he's the highest caliber yet. You know, he does really well in tournaments. He's the best he's ever been, but I don't know, like Remind, I'm a big fan of Remind, dude, and I think he's here to play. So I actually talked to Remind before about joining Dust League as an invite for the second time, because he did join a few seasons ago, and he was basically saying, like, if I can't practice, I don't want to play anymore.
Good.
So if he's in right now, that means like he's practicing, because he didn't want to waste time. And we're seeing that. I mean, he's looking good. I mean, he's not even dropping maps.
Yeah, and
to Michael or Cine.
It's also a super cool addition because he's pretty fluent in English, right? So it's gonna be a good interview. His playstyle is always exciting. Like when he was there for the Team WGL, I think, banger matches with Mikhail, out mining Amazonia. Like when does that ever happen? Never ever. So I'm really looking forward to this. Like he might not be on the level of Colorful Moon, because that's so hard to achieve. But for example, he will give us a better run than a Sini, and it will be more exciting. Hard to compete with Yangi as well when it comes to entertainment factor. But I guess from the quality of the games, this will be a good benefit to DreamHack. Asia, which is starting a little later than the rest of the region, but let's go through the groups. My boy Linguagua is getting completely annihilated in the group drawings again. Moon, Fly, and 15 Sway in his group. Like, what did this guy do?
Yeah, he's done.
To deserve
That's
this.
rough. That's just bad drawing. He's done. I mean, to be honest, he's probably the weakest one out of Cine and him. I do think Thunder, Remind, all these guys are a little bit stronger. Linguagua is always in the pack, though. I mean, he's always in the top 16.
Yeah.
But he still needs to break through. We've seen Colorful break through. We've seen 15 Sway obviously break through. His time will come if he keeps grinding, but yeah, he just finds himself in these groups where he can't really show how good he really is because he just gets murked.
Yeah, this is proving ground for 15 Sway, right? In this group. Like, his hype could stop pretty much immediately at the DreamHack group stage, because if he's just getting eliminated here, then people will still talk about the playoff thing, probably, but then they will also argue, well, then he was in a group with Fly and he couldn't keep up anymore, because Fly is a beast in this matchup, and really looking forward to this if 15 Sway can keep it up. And also super excited to see Fly back again after he didn't qualify for WGL.
I was just going to say that I'm excited for Fly to actually make a splash, because like you said, he got knocked out by Soen, wasn't in WGL, which was weird.
Oh, you're getting tired?
No, I haven't had my coffee, so I'm going to yawn for the next 40 minutes. But no, it's weird to see that Fly and is back in and not in WGL, but I hope he does well. I'm a big Fly fan, not going to lie.
Yeah, the other side of the bracket with Colorful Versini first round. That should be a pretty clean affair, to be honest. And Lin vs. Chemico, rematch of WGL, where they met in the group stage, but with the best of two format, we only had a 1-1 between them. So now, gotta have a winner. This is a grudge match, basically.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Chemico, I don't even know what his best matchup is, because he's so good in everything. I mean, he's got a good Orc, good Undead, good Elf as well. So it's just gonna be really, really good.
Okay, then we got Group C with Focus and Fortitude, who keep on meeting each other in tournaments. Like more than every second tournament, they are drawn together in a group, and so on in Lawlight. So very interesting group as well. And we talked about Group D with 1-0 Sun, Thug, and Remind. But DreamHack is of course starting with Europe and America, and we got a lot of new faces, which means more work for us because we have to do the graphics and stuff for the new players. But on top of the 8 players that made it to the qualifiers in summer, which is Blade, Hawk, Johnny Cage, Happy Craft, X-Lord, Foggy, and Sonic, we finished the qualifiers this week, and then we got Ente. Finally, after being eliminated by Neutron 4 times in a row, they finally ended up on different sides of the bracket, and they both made it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of new faces. Like, I'm excited to see Ente end. Obviously, a lot of dropouts caused this, though, and like, don't want to beat around the bush, but we don't see any Thorzane, no Vortex, a few more, right? Who else dropped out?
Lil DC dropped out.
Lil DC. Yeah, so it's opened up the door, though, and I'm glad these guys have seen that window, side as well, yes. So I'm glad people have found that window to compete and try to get in, and it's so cool, man. I mean, Ente in, Terror's in, and then Spiral's back, which I'm excited about. He's playing Orc or Night Elf, depending on matchup, which is nice. He's not just sticking to the straight Night Elf. And then, obviously, the story is Kevin Schwim, which is huge because, like, Rocket Beans is one of those teams where they've always been around and they do good stuff, but the players have never been good enough to compete at the highest level.
It's basically the German version of Jim. Is what they do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's cool to see like that logo in the. It's good to see Rocket Beans get some promotion through Kevin, because I mean, yeah, they've been around forever. Like, it's a good clan. I don't even know what they are. They're a good team, a good crew of people. And I'm excited, dude. I always thought Kevin was like a meme.
No.
Like, the meme of Kevin Schwim, like people used to be like, oh, Kevin will 3-0. Like in Twitch chats, people used to be like, well, Kevin can win it. Like Kevin Schwim can do it. Like it used to be like a meme. But this guy can actually play. I tweeted about him actually as soon as he qualified. Super excited about it. I'm watching him for sure. You know, the legend of Kevin Schwim. Schwim?
Schwem.
Schwem. Schwem. Kevin Schwem.
It's gonna be his rise to fame. Kevin Schwem.
He's got a tough group, man. He's got to get through the best undead in the region. Well, second best undead in the region as X-Lord. Got him right away in Group D. Yeah,
I think like from the players qualified, I think we're gonna have great entertainment with Kevin and Starshade, and maybe even Starbuck if he decides to show up. He has some showmanship in him for sure. Then we got, and of course Neutron, like obviously. Then we got some cool talents again with Dice, who's still super duper young. Very happy that he made it. Spiral can be a contender for the top 8 always when he's motivated. And nice to see Terra in as well. He had a rough draw in the qualifiers for the summer season. So this time he made it, and he absolutely deserves to be here. So Group A, we got Happy Dice, Johnny Cage, and Starshade.
Yeah, probably going to be the Happy Johnny Cage show. Dice is so inconsistent lately. It's kind of thrown me off because I've been watching him, and I think we hyped him up a lot, but his results lately have been very lackluster. Kind of like he's just inactive and falling off. And that's the thing too with Europe and NA is a lot of inactivity. And I think that's caused most of the actual dropouts, like Thorzane being inactive and still playing wasn't a good result. Didn't look good. Looked visibly inactive, and
yeah.
I think that's the problem with some of these guys, especially in the CIS region, like Johnny Cage and Dice. They tend to be like lazy and they only play certain things. But I hope they come out and play. Like I said, I'm a huge Dice fan, huge Johnny Cage fan. I think Johnny Cage, honestly, when he's playing, is better than Blade. Like when he's really on, he can be better than Blade, and I think Blade's the best human in the region. So. He's also in this tournament, so we'll see if he shows up.
Yeah, for Johnny, I mean, from what I know, he's super busy in real life, being or becoming a policeman in Russia or something. I don't think that's an easy task to then play on the sides. I can only imagine that they're getting a lot of drills in there. And then he plays like whenever he can. So we'll see what he brings to the table. I don't know anything about Dice's real life. Maybe also busy with something else. Group B has Foggy Terra, Sonic, and Spiral.
Yeah, a little bit of Resident Sleeper with the Night Elf Mirror. We've seen so much Night Elf Mirror lately, but I Foggy obviously a huge favorite, Spiral a huge favorite, Sonic could shake things up, and then Terror. It really depends which Terror shows up. The one that's been struggling to get in, or the one that actually got in and he's on fire and he keeps it going. So,
yeah. Look at like, is there a chance Spiral plays anything else but Night Elf against Sonic?
No, I don't think any orcs want to play orc against Night Elf right now.
Okay,
I think he's just gonna Night Elf mirror him.
Just play like Lin.
He'll definitely play orc against Terror though. If he beats Sonic against Terror, he'll play orc against Terror. So that's exciting. But Terra's got to beat Foggy.
It's gonna be rough for sure. Maybe they both lose and meet in the lower bracket final. We'll see about that. Then
the best group is Group C, 100%.
Hawk, Starbuck, and Blade and Neutron.
Yeah, that's probably the most hype, I think.
I don't want to overhype Starbuck again because we did that for summer, and then he was in a tough group with Happy, obviously, but also in the game that wasn't against Happy, didn't look too crisp. Maybe nerves, maybe just not there on the day. He has to perform big time if he wants to make it out of this group. Otherwise, it's going to be the 2 human.
I agree. I mean, Starbuck also didn't do very well in Dust League, and I was super hyping him up as well. Like I was like, he's a dark horse, and he kind of got smashed out. But yeah, I think it's going to be Hawk Blade with Neutron peppered in there. Neutron's verse human is very good. He beat Hawk in the qualifier for the Russian Cyber Games. So he can definitely play. That's gonna be interesting, but I do think it will be the Hawk Blade show, especially if Blade shows up and he's playing. Blade right now on fire, and Hawk too in that matchup. But it's really just gonna come down to whether Neutron and Starbuck play it out forehead.
Yeah. Group D. Okay, here's my hot take for the DreamHack. And people can laugh at me all you want, but if this comes true, I definitely deserve my title as the prophet. Kevin is gonna make it out of this group. He's gonna make it top 8.
Yeah, you're out of your fucking mind. X-Lord's gonna come first, and Crab's gonna come second.
X-Lord is obviously gonna be first. Okay, I definitely agree. There's probably no way around that. But Kevin beat Ente twice in Meisterschaft last time, and he's very, very good in that matchup. And he only has to prepare for Undead. 3 very different Undead, of course, but there's a lot of material to study. And Kevin is really good preparing for matches. And I think Kraft is more playing from intuition and tries to brute force his style onto his opponent. And Kevin can exploit that. Like, Kevin is unlike any other Night Elf in the world when it comes to strategies. Like, the way he played himself into this tournament, man, it was so wild. Loved his games against like, he played Mountain Giants versus Orc, or Naga push against Orc, like mind-blowing stuff. And that's my hot take for DreamHack. Kevin, second place, Group D. Love my brother Kraft.
This is my hot take. X-Lord's going to come first. Kevin and Ente will drop to the lower bracket. Kevin's going to beat Ente, and Kevin's going to lose to Crab, and it's going to be Crab second.
Well, that's not really a hot take.
And I think they're all going to be 2-0s. The entire group's going to be 2-0. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
Want to bet something?
Sure, what do you want to bet? You already have no hair.
If I was about to say, like, you're shaving your head?
No.
If Kevin makes it, shave your head. Would be fitting because Kevin is bald as well. To honor the genius that is Kevin Schwem, Ricky?
I'm not shaving my head. I can't shave my head. I'll
Why
have
not?
nothing left. Dude, my chubby cheeks make my head look weird. I can't shave my head. Trust me, the hair balances everything out. But we can bet whatever you want. What do you want to bet?
We do have a week, right? How about?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
How about the community gives us some ideas?
Sure. If you guys are listening to this right now, what should we? I'm not shaving my head, but what should we bet if Neo gets it right or I get it right? Wait, hold on. I gave a very specific. You just gave X-Lord and Kevin. You didn't give scores. So
dude, I said
maybe
mine...
let's not do my scores. Let's just do. I'm saying X-Lord Crab. You're saying X-Lord Kevin.
Okay, but then I want way better odds.
What do you mean? It's the same predictions.
Absolutely not. Mine is an ultimate underdog tip.
Okay, so you want me to go by score?
No. I just want you to have like, you have to do a way worse thing than I do if I lose.
Okay, we'll let the comments decide.
We'll let the comments decide.
All right.
Bringing in some spice here. Speaking of spice, that was Europe, by the way. And again, one of my favorite storylines, DreamHack America. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so freaking happy that the Brazilians made it, man.
It's actually exciting.
DreamHack started, and the Brazilian community, thanks to Forks, Maximilian Rocks, the caster for the Brazilian scene, he always brought his players to the qualifier. And they always got a step closer, right? First it was Phil Boys, and they celebrated reaching a close qualifier like they just won WGL. That was amazing. Then they kind of cemented themselves in these qualifiers, also with the return of a Mist, and now with Pato being back, they actually made it and qualified. And I was watching the Brazilian cast because I thought, okay, there's something possible here, and this man is going wild. And oh boy, did he go wild. There were 100 people in the chat. They made it look like there's 10,000 people in chat. The celebration, I don't know, if Brazil wins the World, that was the equivalent of Brazil winning the Football World Cup in Twitch chat. Just riot. It was so happy. That was so wholesome that this community tried and got closer and closer and closer. And then it finally happened, man. It's kind of rough that they are facing Hitman and Cruncher first round now, though. It's gonna be tricky. But man, they made it into the top 8 of the Americas, and how beautiful is that?
But you know what? It's the first match of the tournament. It's a long tournament. If you take your L, shake it off and come through, right? Get it out of the way early.
Yeah.
Mist needs to get through Kiwikaki and Seiso. He knows that. Cruncher's coming through no matter what. Mm-hmm. He needs to get through Kiwikaki and Seiso. and Pato, yeah, he's playing Hitman, but Duck and Insup, not impossible. Insup's versus Elf is super good. Yeah. Duck is so unpredictable. I'm pretty sure he was saying he's just gonna lose already. Like he's already given up. The tournament hasn't even started yet. So if I'm Pato, just be chill, man. Play your game. If you're missed, it's gonna be tough. What I want to see is how KiwiCocky's going to adapt, because he was doing this style long before it was meta. Yeah. And a lot of players have innovated a much stronger style. Kiwi actually saying he doesn't like the new meta of Farseer Headhunters. So is he just going to get stomped, or does he actually come out and say, this is my build? And then also, obviously, Cruncher, you know, he's super inactive. Seiso is active. Seiso's undead, can beat Crunchers if Cruncher's not prepared, you know? And I don't know which Cruncher's showing up. The one that knows that he can make money no matter what, so I'm just going to play him whatever, or the one that actually wants to win a championship and dethrone Hitman. Like, we know Cruncher's routine. I play World of Warcraft, and then 1 week before DreamHack, I will prepare. And Cruncher is really good at preparing. He did that for the regional finals. He took 1 week. He studied Hitman and he got it done. If he does that again, Hitman could be in trouble, but I don't think anything is stopping Hitman right now. He is way too good. This meta is way too strong, and it's probably just going to be the Hitman show, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the new competitors, especially the Brazilians, I wouldn't mind if Pato and Mist don't make it through, but they beat Insup or they beat Seiso or Kiwi, it's still a plus, you know?
I would celebrate quite a bit if Pato beats Duck, not gonna lie. Insup is kind of my boy. Duck. Insup is kind of my boy, so I really want him to make it through.
It's so weird that you like Insup and not Duck.
Why?
Because Duck doesn't say call people ugly on stream and shit.
The one is super likable and is active in the scene, and the other is constantly shitting on Discord servers and stomps noobs on ladders. So what's there not to like about Insup?
I don't know. I thought Insup was a little more controversial for you, but I guess not. I don't know what you like. I don't know. I think Duck's likable. I think you know, he could avoid leaving ladder games a bit, but I don't.
A bit, huh?
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's so weird. It's so weird.
We should really cast Duck versus Insup together. Leave Carson on the sidelines.
I think we should.
You cheering for Duck, me cheering for Insup. 100% mega biased cast.
Don't get me wrong. Like I like Insup too. Don't get me wrong. But like, there's a lot of Duck hate for no reason. Like he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy, you know.
Well, how about he shows it then? For example, like typical Duck behavior. It was Sunday evening. After the close qualifier, Brazil was still celebrating, and Duck types, yeah, it's gonna be super nice to play against Hitman on US West servers. Like, dude, let these guys just enjoy it. Why?
I think
why?
He said your
why do you want to shit on their parade?
On West server. I think he's also just pissed off that they forced West host. I mean, he's not West Coast.
Yeah, everybody is. But then, oh come on, man, why just?
I mean, that is pretty funny. Like, congratulations, your prize is you play Hitman on 10 ping. Come on, that's actually hilarious.
I don't think so.
All right, well.
Well, 100% biased cast coming in the group A.
I mean, no, it's not going to be a biased cast. Like I said, I'm a fan of every single person in this group. I'm going to be rooting for all of them equally. I'm excited for the Brazilians. I think Insup, I'm super excited for an Insup run. I hope he's not boozing. I hope he's playing serious. Duck also had a great run. He came top 4 in the last season by beating, I think, Insup or some shit. Who did he beat?
He beat Ark and Seron?
Yeah, that's right. He beat Ark and
was this
and
super
Seron.
weak group B.
That's right. Yeah, Ark and Seron aren't even in the tournament anymore. So now he's really got to compete with actual players. So
yeah, I really
like. The big thing is Hunter. Hunter was supposed to be in this, but he lost to the Brazilians.
He lost to the Brazilians indeed in the qualifiers. Man, he gave up the second round, I think, against Seron.
Yeah, he didn't show up, and then he actually lost in the losers bracket. But the thing is, like,
he did show up for the first day, and then didn't show up for the second day. I think what happened.
Oh, okay. So he did show up for the first day, lost to Pato 2-1. Yeah. And then that's right. Didn't show up for the second day because of ping or whatever. But either way, like, it's not like, oh, we don't even have the best Night Elf players because Ark and Hunter aren't there. It's like, no. Pato and Mist are the new Night Elf players.
Yeah.
Like, this is the new change in NA. Like, Ark doesn't want to play. Okay, you're out. It's that simple. Hunter plays and gets owned. You're out.
It was so heartbreaking to see the deciding match of the qualifier between Pato and Deuce, because I really want them both in the top 8, but man, top 8 is brutal. You have to be on top of your game, and yeah, super sad for Deuce. I never interacted with him, but he's just so likable from how I perceive him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the Deuce.
He's super likable. Deuce is a great guy. Yeah, he's actually a good person. But the Deuce fucked himself over too, right? Because in the first day he didn't show up.
True.
So Mist got a free win, and he should have beat Mist and tried to beat Insup for that spot. Yeah. And then if he would have lost to Mist, he would have played Saron instead. So him losing that first match fucked him over. He played Pato instead of Mist, and if he would have just showed up, he would have had a better run. But you know what? Some people don't like to pay attention, and that's their fault, not my fault. As Dust Game, not my fault.
Sounds like there's a little bit of Dust Gaming interna spilling into this broadcast. Were you blamed for this?
Fault.
Did he blame you for not telling him when this qualifier is or what happened?
No, Deuce would never do that. But I had to call him a few times. Say, are you showing up or what? 15 minutes into the tournament, you're not here. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be there in a second, man. But,
is that what he sounds like?
He sounds super Canadian. I don't even know how to do it. It's like, oh, yeah, dude, like, I'll be there in 1 sec, man. Just coming in the hot in the driveway there. But, yeah, he's super, super Canadian. It's awesome to talk to. I wish we could do more interviews with him, to be honest.
Has to win more, I guess, next season, hopefully.
It's going to be good, though. DreamHack's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, super hyped for this, for the broadcast, for everything. I guess I can say that we're going to have a little bit of a different look, at least, upgrading. And then we got Coinbase as a sponsor, which is awesome to see that money is coming into Warcraft 3 for the other 2 seasons that we get. And yeah, just cool stuff happening all around. And we also got Dust League finals this weekend. Then there's DreamHack. After DreamHack's W3 Champion season finals, like, oh my god, it's just one highlight after the next at the moment.
Dude, Dust League's prize pool is $2,471.
That's pretty sick.
That's the biggest it's ever been, bro.
It's pretty sick.
This community's dope, dude.
It is.
I love it.
We love it.
Yeah, we'll take a Q&A. Also, big shout out to whoever posted on Reddit, D-Studge. Hey, do you listen to the Back to Warcraft podcast? Got some people saying, yeah, I listened to it. One guy said, I listened to it on my bike, which I think is so cool.
Bikes are cool.
Hold on, let me find that. Occasionally ride my motorcycle and listen to it. That is so badass. Defon77, dude. That is so vroom vroom, motherfucker. Let's go, dude. I was so pumped to see that shit.
Yeah, people, let us know, when are you listening to the podcast? Like, when is your podcast time? For breakfast, maybe, or for workout, or when you do some chores, or next to work, or for falling asleep, maybe? I want to know more about our listeners. Like, when is the time to listen to the Back to Warcraft podcast for you?
True. I listen to it at work when I'm doing description shit and figuring out if the sound quality is good, and also because I'm a narcissist. Also because I don't remember what the hell we talked about, dude.
Never.
So many people like upload like a week late. Like, we upload a week late on YouTube, right? Which is a majority of the people that watch. Because if you're not if you're a patron, you get it the week of. By the way, Back to Warcraft, or patreon.com/Back to Warcraft. It's the Theory Crafter 5 euro, I think. But anyway, so people message me about like the week before, which is 2 weeks back, and I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about. And they're like, hey man, I really liked your take on this. And I was like, so I'll just listen to it to like stay fresh and relevant.
Okay, and that's why we got you, because I never re-listened to it. Today I got a message by Monk about something, and I'm like, dude, I got no idea what I said.
Yeah, like, I have no idea, man. People are like, wow, I really liked what you said about so-and-so. And I was like, and like, that's from like week 13. And I'm just like, Jesus, I guess
Yeah, so. I just know that I'm right and you're wrong. That's the most important thing for me on this broadcast.
Inaccurate, all right? And everyone here knowing.
See, again,
knows
I'm
that.
Right, you're wrong. But
okay,
yeah, what were we talking about?
Well, we're just talking about where do you listen to your podcast and stuff like that. But let's take a question from the Q&A and we'll wrap this up.
Yes.
Question from the Grinchy Main, a fresh Midas tier patron, says, are team houses still part of the War 3 culture in 2021? Elaborate on the pros and cons for the players residing in team houses. Team houses are not a thing in Warcraft 3 anymore. The last team house, I think, was the Korean one.
Yeah.
composed of Lalayat, Soin, Chaemiko, and Sok.
Mm-hmm.
I think all 4 of those boys were together. The benefits, obviously, cheaper rent, cheaper accommodations for all 4 splitting the bill. You guys get to play tournaments together. You guys get to practice together, more hands-on practice for those players. And also you guys can go to LANs together, travel together. Basically, all your bank accounts are aligned, and all your goal is to play Warcraft 3 in practice. So, and you know, if people are good at cooking for you, maybe one person's the cook, maybe one person's the cleaner, maybe one, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a collaboration. So that is a player collaboration team house, which that was the last one, I think. For the most part, team houses, like actual organizations in Warcraft 3, aren't very viable because I would say, like, because sponsorship and marketing isn't there yet. We've talked about how Warcraft 3 seems a little bit dated and in the dark ages when it comes to marketing, which I think it's changing slowly. But for the most part, team houses in StarCraft 2, Dota, CSGO are all basically motivated, driven by sponsors. For example, like, you can easily market, make videos, record, because all your players, your assets, if you will, are all in the same house. So you can make a marketing video, you can sell a Monster energy drink, you can make advertising stuff very easily. It's very accessible. Also makes it easier for travel because you're not flying one person out from Ukraine, one player out from China, one player out from Washington. They're all mostly in the same region. Makes travel tickets much easier. But we don't see that anymore in Warcraft 3. I don't think we ever will anymore, unfortunately. But in bigger games, it's a huge thing. You have to stay local to that team. You have to be in their office. You have to be accessible to all their staff for various marketing reasons, social reasons, cutting a promo, stuff like that. It's just easier to do. And then obviously the marketing part is just way easier when you have everyone there.
All right, my take on this. Well, yeah, for a team house, or to have a team house, you first have to have a team, and that goes for not too many people. I think Moon, Mikael, Sok, of course the Mouse Sports guys, but yeah, it's very few that could do it. Then Warcraft players in general are rather old. It's not like you're 19, fresh out of high school. Most of them have a wife at home. A lot now have children at home, so you don't want to give this up for hanging with your mates. You're absolutely right that the Koreans did this, but they were all bachelors and no children involved. So they did this on their own without a team, really, and it helped them a lot. But they also said, okay, that was enough now. Because in the team house, usually, like, you have a cook. If it's a high-profile team house, I would say, you have a cook that does stuff for you. You have someone that takes you out to the movies or social activities. And they had to deal with all of that. Cleaning, of course. Everybody who shared a flat once know how stressful it is to really have a routine for cleaning. And then, yeah, some are a little bit more lazy in that regard and game more, and yeah, the others, it's oftentimes an imbalance. So I think it lasted as long as it could, and it helped all these players to reach a new level, but then they all disbanded. They're still very good friends though. But even in the old days, that wasn't really a thing in Warcraft. Like, I think
we made Fox.
SK had one. I don't think we made Fox. Like, I can't imagine Moon, Lin, and Soccer living together.
I think they had a house. We made Fox had a place, yeah.
But probably not for the Warcraft team then.
Yeah,
maybe
it
for
was
boot
the
camps or
team.
something.
They were all in the same house. The Brood War team with the Warcraft 3 team.
Okay, maybe for boot camp.
Because they had Nada, I think, or Boxer or something. Nada, I think, and they were really big in StarCraft at the time.
Okay,
I just remember they were living in the same place.
I think World Elite,
Syndrome as the manager.
World Elite had some as well, and the first thing that I remember when it comes to team houses was when SK Gaming with Mad Frog, Insomnia, and these kind of guys went to Korea and lived in a team house, and oh boy, man, it's the worst conditions you can imagine. 4 people crammed
like
into one
50 shoes
room.
at the front door. 50
Super
shoes, yeah.
sick, man. Like, living conditions in a team house, especially back then, weren't as good as you think they are. I don't know. Like nowadays, I don't think any of them would do that again ever. Probably it's better today than it was back then with all the esports people being stars, but it wasn't really a big culture. Like in comparison to Brood War or also StarCraft, team houses never had a big impact in the Warcraft scene, and I don't remember too many teams. Like 4K, for example, never had that. I don't think MIM ever had that. They were all just living their own lives mostly. And then, of course, boot camping.
Did you just call MYM MIM?
I call them whatever I want.
MIM?
MIM.
It's MYM. Meet your makers. MIM?
Dude, we don't have time anymore. We're above the 1 hour mark. I have to shorten it.
MIM?
MYM.
I've never heard it called MIM ever.
So what? I can
Rocket
innovate.
Beans TV, Rubber TV, Rubber TV.
Well, not rubber TV.
Rubber TV. It's Rocket Beans. It's MYM.
It's MIM.
Go to your concert, dance around, you fool.
Nah, we have to sit because COVID, but it's live music.
What?
Yeah, we have to sit down.
You're just gonna sit and listen to Screamo?
No, it's not.
Sit there and stand.
No, it's
the guy's
not.
like, oh, I hate my life. You're just standing there. Just
nah,
staring.
it's very lovely indie music.
Oh, nice.
That's something you can sit to, I think. It's not too aggressive at all. It's just singer-songwriter indie stuff.
Nice. Just like one dude with a guitar?
One lady with a guitar.
Ooh. I do like the ladies.
Unfortunately, they don't like you. But
dude, Massive Attack. Listen to Massive Attack lady. Like, I think that lead singer's a chick, and I love that shit.
Massive Attack. Would love.
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened to them ever.
Listen to Angel.
I don't see a chick on the band photos.
Me neither. So I don't know if it's like edited or if it's like actual person. Well, it's obviously it's an actual person. You know what I mean?
All right.
There we go, blended there.
Is that the podcast? Is that the podcast for the day?
That's the podcast. Thanks
for
tuning in, guys. I hope you guys are fawns. Rub your motorcycle, rev. Keep going. Let us know where you listen to your podcast. Let us know what my punishment is if I lose the prediction for DreamHack. We got a little bit on the line. You tell me what's on the line, guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Exactly.
Dustly coming up.
DreamHack coming up.
We got a lot of stuff coming up. Neo's going out.
This podcast releases every Friday midnight, by the way, Central European summertime. So set your alarms and just follow on the station, and then you get it straight into your feed. And if you're really cool, you add to our Patreon, then get no ads at all. And of course, this podcast a week earlier, and we get your Q&As in as well if you have some questions for us. So Patreon is the place to be, just like these wonderful people are at the minus or the profit tier. That is, for example, Toxie, that I will meet in Cologne this weekend, Grinchy, who I would love to meet, Jay Gatz, who is an incredible supporter for like a year now, always chips in that madman, and Pedro, to send me great recipes that I will still try out. Safe Orcas, Scription, who I will also meet in Cologne, Teggy, Burning Blades, and Dondolare. Love you guys. Thank you for keeping the machine alive and well and fueled and whatever. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will hear each other next week. Bye. Bye.